coach and he was a bus driver.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is 4:30 on April 15. I'd like to call this meeting to order, beginning with a moment of silence and then the Pledge of Allegiance. Join me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, if we could have roll call, please.
Brad Kent.
Here.
Sean Brewster.
Here.
Pete Hamill.
Here.
Wayne Barahona.
Here.
Tom Eggers.
Here.
All right, moving on to the approval of the agenda. There are no additions that I'm aware of.
So moved.
Is there support for that motion?
Support.
All right. Roll call, please.
Brewster.
Aye.
Barahona.
Aye.
Hamill.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Okay. Moving on now to our public forum. I've asked Ange, there are no written comments, and there's no one here from the public for verbal comments, so I see no reason why we can't move on to item 4, the oath of office for our new chief of police. I think I'm going to stay here and try and maintain that social distance. If you'll just stand by the mic there, I'll bring this down to you in just a minute. But if you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Scott Birch,
I, Scott Birch,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold all laws of the Constitution of the United States,
that I will uphold all laws of the Constitution of the United States,
the state of Iowa, and the city of Sheldon.
and the city of Sheldon.
I will faithfully and impartially,
I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all duties
discharge all duties
of the office of Chief of Police for the city of Sheldon, Iowa,
of the office of the Chief of Police for the city of Sheldon, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Okay.
Yes. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate you.
You want blue, right?
Oh, hey, there I am.
Welcome aboard, Scott. We thank you, Dave, for your service as interim police chief. Also,
You're welcome. Yes, I'd like to officially welcome you, Scott, as our new chief. We've been at it for a little over a week already, but look forward to good things in the department, that continuing on that tradition that we have here. So, and Dave, thank you also for your service in the interim. Okay, moving on then to the consent agenda. I need approval for that, please.
Pete moved. We accept the agenda.
Okay.
Second.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Eggers,
Aye.
Farahona,
Aye.
Hamel,
Aye.
Brewster,
Aye.
Kent,
Aye.
Okay. That carries. Moving on to the item 6A under old business, a resolution approving submittal of the application for an Iowa DOT airport funding grant. If we can have a motion to approve that resolution, please.
So moved. Support. Pete.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, go ahead, Sam.
I'd just like to state earlier this afternoon we received notice that we've been eligible. The airport is eligible for a $30,000 COVID-19 grant. This is hot off the press. We just received the information this afternoon. So Todd and I are in communication with Andy Mason on the options for that money. One option is to use it for the upcoming debt payment. Another option is to use it for some of the items that couldn't be covered by this particular grant. I did link that to the city manager items at the end of the agenda, so we don't need to get into the details on that now, but it's just a good opportunity to disclose that good news.
All right. Is there anything else that you had that you would like me to read, or is that you covered it sufficiently there?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay, very good. Is there any further discussion regarding this resolution? If not, let's have a roll call, please.
Brewster,
Aye.
Hamel,
Aye.
Farahona,
Aye.
Eggers,
Aye.
Kent,
Aye.
Okay. Item 7 under new business. 7A, zoning amendments. I'd like to open the public hearing for the first reading of rezoning for the 301 34th Avenue property out by Crossroads Pavilion and the lot to the north, Sheldon Crossing Plot 1, parcels A and B of Outlook X, changing it from agriculture to arterial commercial application by the City of Sheldon and the Sheldon Chamber and Development Corp. Have we gotten any comments regarding that in writing?
no.
Okay, and there are no public comments here. Any discussion? Motion to close the hearing, please.
Oh,
Oh,
I believe he wants you to do all
all three of them.
All at the same
A, B,
time?
and C in this public hearing. Then we'll close A, B, and C and leave D open.
Okay, mine are labeled 1, 2, subpoints 1, 2, 3, and 4 rather than A, B, and C.
Okay, 1, 2, and 3, please.
Okay. All right, so then subpoint,
Well, they are A, B, and C under item 6. Look at
He doesn't have
Ma-
that one. Sorry. That's the
no, yeah, that's why. 'Cause on this one here,
It's the one next to you, Greg.
Wayne, the one that Greg has is the official agenda. Correct. He has the big version,
no, right?
Yes.
and that's the actual lettering.
okay.
So
You
you
got-
can
you got
go
that
on and
same
read
copy
number
just to your
2
left.
and number 3 on the agenda.
Okay.
There's some copies right out the door in the hallway.
Yeah,
The
okay.
agenda.
Okay, because on the sheet I'm looking at, which is the highlight, or the what's on the website as well,
Go by that one, but you need to read item number 1, item
Okay.
number 2, and item number 3 regarding the.
all right, but these are labeled, what's labeled on
Just
here
don't
as
worry about
7 is,
This is no bueno. Don't look at
okay,
this.
okay. All right,
I like how Todd goes to Spanish when he really wants to point across.
okay, so we've had the first item. call it A or call it sub-point 1. I'm going to call it sub-point 1 as it's labeled here. Sub-point 2, first reading of the amendment to the zoning code by deleting subsection 20.3, 4.j, pertaining to signs in the business park, arterial commercial, light industrial, heavy industrial, and agricultural districts, and replacing subsection J as reserved for future use, in quotes. And then subpoint 3, the first reading of the amendment to the zoning code to repeal subsection 26.4 and replace in lieu thereof a new subsection 26.4 pertaining to procedures of Board of Adjustment in granting a special exception. So those are the three you wanted now, not because I have a sub-point 4. Is that a separate again?
That's in this public hearing, so you do need to read it.
Okay.
But then when we close the public hearing, we're only closing it on subsections 1, 2, and 3.
All right. Everybody with us on that?
10-4.
All right. Then sub-point 4 here, the first reading for the rezoning of the western 115 feet of 1401 South 2nd Avenue, the former Sunset Motel, from arterial commercial to residential multiple, the remainder from the residential C1 to mobile home district MH, contingent on rezoning the existing mobile home park, parcel number 0046335000 to MH. That's all I got. Other than it says Kerwin there, I don't know why that doesn't. And then it Kerwin and Kathy Sterler. There we go. So those are the 4 items. Again, no one here for comments. So then I'll take a motion to close the public hearing for the first 3 items, but keep the hearing open for the former Sunset Motel property.
I'll make that motion to close the first 3 and keep the 4th one open.
Support?
Roll call, please.
Hamel.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Brewster.
Aye.
All right. Then let's move on to discussion and direction. Is there anything you would like to add at this point, Sam? Hello, Sam?
Micah, do you have anything?
I do not. Your next step is to approve the resolution that makes specific findings as to this amendment request.
Any discussion from council members?
Can we do them all 3 in one motion? Micah?
Yeah, it's all contained in the resolution.
Okay. I'll make the motion to approve A, B, and C. Or 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I'll support.
Per the resolution.
Yes, per resolution.
Okay.
Second.
We have a second from Wayne already. Thanks, Tom. Okay. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Farahona.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Brewster.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
So, okay, now we have a decision to make. It's okay if we want to waive the second and third reading for the first 3 items. Since the sunset item is still in due diligence period for the purchase by the Sterlers, the hearing should stay open for that item. What is your pleasure here in terms of the first 3 items, gentlemen?
I'll make a motion.
Technically, you haven't had your first reading on your ordinance.
Okay.
You've approved a resolution, and now you're moving to the ordinance itself. It's a question of how many readings you're going to do.
So must we read it first, or that process, or can we decide this now, but once is enough?
Well, either way, you do have to have a reading on it. You haven't had that reading yet.
Okay.
So in other words, we can't do that until the next meeting.
No, you can have your reading today. I'm just saying you haven't had one yet.
Okay.
Micah,
Yep.
I believe what they can do is the motion can be moved to approve first reading and waive second and third on those three items.
That is correct.
Motion.
Yep, that's what we're looking at.
And it doesn't all need to be read again since it was read earlier.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying that you have not yet had your first reading. We're
Right.
waiting for the motion to happen.
So back to, Brad, you made the motion.
Yes.
Are you willing to amend
Amend
that
it?
accordingly?
Yes, I will. I'll amend it to waive the second and third reading because I believe most of these properties are owned by the city, if I'm correct, or the SCDC.
I can make comment on the two SCDC lots. You guys hear me okay? This is Kurt.
Yes.
Yeah, so the first one is for the lot that the Crossroads Pavilion sits on. I mean, that's just essentially a housekeeping item at this point, so that pavilion isn't going anywhere. And the other one is for consideration of the lot to the north. It's currently zoned ag, and in the spirit of development, and to keep everything in the same type of development for zoning, everything around it is currently zoned commercial, so it just makes sense to zone this lot arterial commercial as well.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, if I could, just for clarification, so everybody's on the same page. Kurt just explained the two rezones. The subsection 2 is eliminating J and signs. There was conflict in the zoning ordinance. In one area, it said off signs were allowed. In another subsection, it said they were not. So this removes J that says they were not. This comes as a recommendation from planning and zoning. And then the subsection 3 is clarifying language with the Board of Adjustment. So there's 7 members on the Board of Adjustment, and the language in the zoning ordinance said that a concurring vote of 3 members means it passed. So that didn't make sense because the 4 to 3 and then it would pass, or it would actually fail, however you want to look at that. So this is clearing up, saying that you need 4 yes votes instead of 3 for the Board of Adjustment.
Okay.
Okay. Yep, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Do you want
amending it?
Do you want the motion read as we have it amended, or is everybody familiar with how the motion has been changed? Do you have the
I
motion written?
appreciate that explanation.
Okay.
I'm good.
Everybody ready to vote?
I need a second.
Oh, okay.
Second.
All right. Then let's have roll call, please.
Brewster.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
All right. So I think, have we covered all the bases there, Sam or Micah? Can we move forward now?
Yes, you can, because your hearing is still open on item 4. We'll deal with that later.
All right. So then let's move on to item 7B, first reading of the ordinance amending water rates. The water rate study was commissioned in 2017 and was presented in the budget workshop on January 22, 2020. The new rates would be effective July 1, 2020. While no one will be excited about these increases, there are several important points to consider. The increases recommended by DGR aren't nearly as large as Todd and I had predicted, considering rate increases at a rate of 2% or less for 6 of the last 10 years. There were no increases in fiscal year 09 and 10, fiscal year 11, 12, and fiscal year 18 and 19. The increases were 2% in fiscal year 10, 11, fiscal year 12, 13, and fiscal year 15, 16. Number 2, the new increases include a capital improvement component and factors in the higher interest rate, which we are now receiving on cash balances. The interest we are receiving for our balances at Northwestern Bank helps keep the rates lower. A memo is included in your packets. And finally, the comparison in your packets shows we remain competitive with comparable with surrounding communities. These new rates are much fairer for residential users. The inherent unfairness of declining block rates is addressed in this ordinance, and this is why rate increases are much lower for residential users than for higher volume users. That's the explanation. The ordinance itself is in your packets. So, discussion. Anything you'd like to add, Sam?
No, you did well.
Okay. Were you going to say something, Micah? Who was starting to speak?
I think I was going to just say that we had discussed this in great detail during the workshop, and I'm comfortable with moving forward on it.
Okay. Any other comments? If not, then I'll take a motion to approve that as well.
So moved.
And support?
Support.
All right. Can I have roll call, please?
Hamel.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Brewster.
Aye.
All right.
We'll
Moving
have
up.
second reading on that, Mayor, on May 6th.
Okay. Did you hear that, Ange? You got that? Okay. Very good. Moving on then to item 7C, the Urban Renewal Area Amendment. I'll open the public hearing on a proposed amendment number 5 to the amended and restated Sheldon Urban Renewal Plan. Any written comments addressing that at all?
No.
There are none. There are no one here to speak publicly either, so motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Support.
Okay. Then let's move on to approval of the resolution.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call, please.
Hint.
Aye.
Brewster.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
All right. Now moving on to approval of the resolution, discussion of the resolution, excuse me. Are there any comments or questions on that at this time? The resolution is determining an area of the city to be an economic development and blighted area, and that the rehabilitation, conservation, redevelopment, development, or a combination thereof such area is necessary in the interest of public health, safety, or welfare of the residents of the city, designating such area as appropriate for urban renewal projects, and adopting amendment number 5 to the amended and restated Sheldon Urban Renewal Plan. There are 3 main components to the tax increment financing: the urban renewal areas, the urban renewal plan, and the budgeting and spending the tax increment financing dollars. So additional council action would be needed to disperse the funds in the case of the proposed $2.5 million in the street projects. A short-term bond up to a few months is necessary. There has been discussion over the past of reducing the amount of land in TIF. This is a worthy goal, but cannot be considered until after the 2017 C bond is paid off, scheduled to occur in fiscal year 21-22. Even then, any reduction of urban renewal geographic areas will need to be carefully coordinated to ensure pending or current projects are not impacted. Understood? And if so, I'll take a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
And support. Okay. Further discussion? And I'm assuming this would also move to a second reading on May 1st. Is that correct, Sam?
No, this is
No.
a resolution.
Resolution, no.
So it just is approved.
Okay. All right, then let's have roll call, please.
Brewster.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
All right. Then we can move on to our reports, starting with you, Sam, your city manager report. Are you with us, Sam?
You're not muted, Sam.
Sam, you are on mute. I don't know if you can hear us or not. We're not hearing you. Somebody want to run down and tell him or see what's going on?
He might know.
Technology is great.
While we're waiting for that, why
Can
don't?
you hear me now?
Yes, there you are. Thank you.
All right, sorry. So my city manager's report speaks for itself. It's linked. There are 3 additional items beyond that. One is the notice from Poet that is also linked. The airport grant notice that I received this afternoon, I also linked that. That's a nice feature of this new agenda process. You can link in real time. And then if we could come back to Kevin Miller's scat memo, Mayor, he would like that read in the public record. But before we do that, if we could go to Jared Johnson. I invited him to today's meeting to give us an update.
All right. Jared, are you here?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can.
All right, very good. Thanks for your time this afternoon. This is Jared Johnson with the Bryan County Emergency Management Agency. Thanks again for your time today. I do have just a few updates, COVID-19 updates to share with you. You may have heard the governor reference that some changes have been made to the dashboard on the COVID-19 in Iowa website. If you have some time, either tonight or later this week, I do recommend that you go onto that website to check out the new dashboard. On the dashboard, the state is now providing additional data that the general public can view, and the data is it's available for everyone to view. Some of the items that are included on that dashboard now include just a viewing of the number of cases, along with the number of tests that have been conducted. So if you click on the O'Brien County section on that map, you'll see that the data that's on there right now says that there has been 3 confirmed cases in O'Brien County, and there has been 77 tests conducted. There's also a section where you can view the EPI curve that they've been referencing, along with lab testing, additional demographics. They do also have a section where you can view long-term care outbreaks that are occurring in Iowa. There is also a section for the RMCC dashboard. And just to kind of go over that again, so RMCC stands for the Regional Medical Coordination Center. We are in Region 3, which Region 3 includes 3 different service areas, so Service Area 3A, B, and also 7. It's headquartered out of Sioux City at this time. You may see the National Guard reference it as Task Force West, North. They've split up the state into 3 regions, Task Force West, Task Force East, and Task Force Central, and we are Task Force West, North. I greatly appreciate all that you guys are doing to help share information to the general public about COVID-19 and things people can be doing to protect themselves and others. We're continuing to encourage everyone to take measures to protect themselves. So if you can keep on pushing that out to the general public, that'd be greatly appreciated. On the Iowa Workforce Development website, they have provided information and an outline of the CARES Act benefits and also the implementation for that. So we're encouraging individuals that need that assistance to go onto the Iowa Workforce Development.gov website. And there's also pandemic unemployment assistance information there as well. For individuals that are just looking to see other general information, they can go to coronavirus.iowa.gov to view that dashboard and other programs that have been announced so far. That's what I have today. Are there any questions?
I haven't seen, I don't know if they did not get the governor's report or hit the website yet today. Are we currently, has anything changed in terms of the numbers of reported cases in the 4-county area, the northwest corner?
No, there are no new cases in O'Brien County. To be honest with you, I have not seen any others for the other kind of counties in northwest Iowa yet today. I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, so we're at 3 yet, is that correct?
Correct, yep.
Okay.
And I did receive a report from Public Health that those 3 have recovered.
Terrific. And yeah, the fact that there's no new cases is also good news.
Yep.
Are there any other questions for Jared at this time? Okay. Thank you, Jared, for that update. Thank you for your work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sam, do you have anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, I do. Just for the record, at the beginning of the meeting and the hearings, I did hit unmute on everybody on the line. I think the only people we have joining us other than us is Frank from KIWA, and then also 3606 is the last 4 digits, and then Rob Dixon. But I hope they all knew that they had a chance to speak under public comments, and I didn't specifically mention it. But if I accidentally cut any of them off, I think it's appropriate to give them a chance to speak now.
All right.
So I've unmuted all of them.
Okay. So to those of you that are listening in, outside of council members or city employees, media, do you have any comments at this time pertaining to some of the discussion we had prior to this?
This is Rob. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good afternoon, Rob.
Well, hi. I was just a few minutes late. I've not heard anything specifically about the airport, the state grant we were pursuing with the airport. Are we not, I assume, I guess, then that we're moving ahead as previously set up through a resolution back in December, are we not?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah. Well,
So.
You may or may not have heard that our latest estimate came in above that number, but we're trimming back to stay within budget parameters set for us with that resolution back in December, and feel we can get it accomplished accordingly. So, FYI.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions for Rob from any of the council members? Hearing none, are there any other people listening in with any public comments at this time? Okay, I'm not hearing any, so I'd like to move forward then. Sam, you are done with your report?
I am.
Okay.
If you could just read Kevin's memo, please.
Yeah, I'll get to that after I hear from see if there's any councilman comments.
Okay.
I'm going to ask individually. Brad has none. Wayne?
Nope.
Pete, do you have any comments at this time?
No.
Tom, how about you?
Not today.
And Sean, do you have anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to read a letter from Kevin Miller, the Sheldon Ambulance Director, addressed to the citizens of Sheldon. And I'm just going to read what he started at the beginning here. I want to start off by thanking the community of Sheldon for their support to our ambulance during these trying times. It is times in which we live. We tend to learn to enjoy and appreciate the things in life we once took for granted. On behalf of the Sheldon Community Ambulance Team, I am asking the residents and patrons of Sheldon and surrounding communities to help do their part in flattening the curve and slowing the spread. It is vital that we all work together for one common goal, and that is to save lives. You can join in the cause by staying home, washing your hands frequently, working from home, limiting your trips to the store, and the amount of people that go with you. during this time, we should not be hosting get-togethers, even with one friend, or meeting up with family other than the people that reside in your household. It may seem like we are doing fine just looking at the numbers. However, if you look at the hotspots that erupted across the state and across our state lines, you can see how fast this virus can spread. Sheldon could easily become the next hotspot if we do not do our part. Let's show the world how we respond in times of crisis. Let us stand united. And then he closes with a quote from Gandhi, "Let us be the change we wish to see in the world." Warm regards, Kevin Miller, Sheldon Ambulance Director. So an FYI to all of you, as a community, we've been doing a good job of following the guidelines, the safety recommendations. We're not out of the woods yet. As Jerry reported earlier, there have been no new cases of the COVID-19, but we don't want to see that either. So keep up the good work and stay safe. And that is all I have as comments from the mayor.
Todd?
Oh, Todd, yes.
I just thought I should fill everybody in that in March you approved for us to apply for a grant for the Western Avenue Street project. As you may recall, that was a $2.379 million project. Grant funds we were requesting was $1.263 million. That meeting was actually held on April 2nd, and unfortunately we did not receive funding this year. There was $7.749 million worth of projects that applied, and there was about $3.9 million worth of funding. So my plan would be to regroup, come back to you next winter, ask if we could apply for the same process again, and see if we get better results next year.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate your efforts on that, Todd.
Thanks, Tom.
Scott, do you have any comments that you'd like to make at this time? Okay. Kurt, is there anything else you'd like to add other than what we discussed previous?
I do not. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else that I'm not thinking about?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Hint.
Aye.
Brewster.
Aye.
Himmel.
Aye.
Verhona.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.